I founded Triumph in March 2006. At the time, I had some general ideas about business opportunities, but none of those included becoming a publicly traded bank. One thing I was sure of was the mission to do well and to do good at the same time, to create financial value by doing well at our work and to make the world a better place through doing good works. Now, over the years, our business has seen major changes, but we continue to operate with our core values and vision close at hand. In the early days, Triumph acquired apartment complexes across Texas. Carlos Sepulveda, our current chairman, was our first investor. He was followed by Chuck Anderson, another current board member, and his partners. About a year and a half after starting Triumph, I hired our first 2 team members, who are still with us today. At that time, our office space was so small that from my chair I could extend my arms and touch both of their desks. As competition for distressed real estate opportunities increased, we made the decision to turn our focus towards acquiring a bank. We thought a bank would be the ideal platform for future growth and the next evolution of our business model. After searching for a few months, we found Equity Bank, a Dallas-based state savings bank. Equity Bank was struggling at the time and needed to be recapitalized. We spent over a year convincing our investors and the regulators that we would be able to turn Equity Bank into something valuable. During that time, I remember a conversation with Carlos. I told him I was concerned that we might run out of time and out of money before we were able to acquire Equity Bank. I told him that I had sailed our ship out to sea and I couldn't see land in front of me, and I knew we couldn't afford to row back. And Carlos's response was, "Isn't that exciting? Keep rowing." And so we did. On November 5th, 2010, we finally did land that ship and we closed on Equity Bank, which we changed the name to Triumph Savings Bank. We spent the next year cleaning up the bank and preparing it for growth. Our growth came organically and through acquisitions. Our first acquisition was Advance Business Capital. Advance was one of the leading transportation factoring companies in the country. I met their CEO, Steve Hausman, before we acquired Equity Bank. And after reconnecting in many conversations, we both came to the conclusion that we were a perfect fit for one another. And so we closed this acquisition in January 2012. It remains one of the best acquisitions we have ever made. In addition to factoring, we were also looking to launch a commercial finance platform as we transitioned the old Equity Bank from a real estate-only bank to a commercial lender. I met Dan Karras, a 30-year veteran in the asset-based lending space, and Dirk Koppel, a 25-year veteran in the equipment finance world. I invited them both to join our team and build this commercial finance business from scratch. One night, after months of discussion trying to convince them to join Triumph, I took them and their wives to dinner. Afterwards, I brought them to our new office space, which was currently under construction and empty. They shared my enthusiasm and agreed to join our team shortly thereafter in 2012. And we have now filled that entire floor I showed them that night and another above it. We quickly gained momentum after that. In order to fuel our continuing growth and diversify our business, we began looking for a community bank to acquire. Knowing that the Texas and especially the Dallas market was saturated by banks, we decided to look outside of our home state. We met the team at The National Bank in Bettendorf, Iowa, and quickly saw how they might fit well into our growing organization. We spent months flying between Dallas and the Quad Cities before finally closing the deal in October 2013. Following that acquisition, we were about $1.3 billion in assets, and we continued to grow rapidly. In 2014, we enhanced our commercial finance platform yet again with the acquisition of Doral Healthcare Finance. And several months after that, we launched Triumph Insurance Group to provide insurance to the transportation and equipment industries. During this time, we also made the decision to rebrand our acquired companies, bringing them all under the Triumph name. Advance Business Capital became Triumph Business Capital. The National Bank became Triumph Community Bank. And Doral Healthcare Finance became Triumph Healthcare Finance. All of this growth led to our next major milestone. In November of 2014, Triumph completed its initial public offering and listed on the NASDAQ Global Market under the ticker symbol TBK. We also renamed our subsidiary bank to TBK Bank SSB. Since our initial public offering, Triumph's growth has continued to accelerate. We've launched Triumph Premium Finance to provide customized premium financing solutions to independent insurance agents and their insureds. And in August of 2016, we expanded our community banking platform once again with the acquisition of Colorado East Bank and Trust, which has now become the Western division of TBK Bank. This acquisition gave us a footprint throughout Eastern Colorado and Western Kansas. It diversified our community banking operations and substantially increased the size of our agricultural lending business. Looking back now, it is hard to believe that what started in March 2006 with one person and a laptop has now grown to a publicly traded enterprise with over 700 team members. The journey is not mine alone. I have shared this experience with our team members, with our customers, and our investors. I don't know what the future will bring, but I am very confident that Triumph will continue our original mission of doing well and doing good for many years to come.